Hello everybody and welcome back to Comet Sighted. Today we're going to be talking about the Dev Diary from the 19th of November 2018. And yes, I will be getting back up to track on these soon so that I can get them out a day of and not later on in the week, I promise. Today we'll be talking about national ideas and the starting situation in the southwestern part of the Mediterranean, the home of the mighty Republic of Carthage, which I know is going to be a fan favorite for a lot of people. Much like in its predecessor, EU Rome and Imperator, you can tailor your country to your goals by picking national ideas. How many you can have active is dependent on your government type. There are 36 different national ideas that you could choose from, and they will be listed in this diary. Each idea has its own bonus, and each belongs to one of 4 categories corresponding to the power types in the game. Selecting a new national idea costs 50 civic power. Some are available to you at the start, others have to be unlocked by advances during the course of the game. As a rule, tribal governments can have 2 national ideas, while the most advanced government forms like republics and monarchies can have 3, but there are some exceptions to this rule. Each government in the game comes with a base bonus specific to that government. There is also a secondary bonus for each government that you will get if your country has ideas picked that correspond to what is expected by that government's form. As you can see in the screenshot, Carthage is an oligarchic republic. This means they can pick 2 civic ideas and 1 oratory idea if they want their additional bonus. For Rome, which starts as an aristocratic republic, this means it needs 2 military ideas and 1 civic to get the additional bonus. National idea bonuses are, of course, still subject to change. Currently, the national ideas in the game are as follows. Martial ethos, morale of armies, 10%. Thalassocracy requires martial advances of 6, morale of navies, 20%. Elite soldiery, martial advances of at least 12, gives discipline of 5%. Permanent shipyards, trireme cost, minus 50%. What I'm really liking when I see a lot of things in Imperator so far is that a lot of these bonuses are pretty big, meaning that it's going to have a pretty big effect on your country when you pick stuff like this. But anywho, I digress, and we will continue. Conscription, martial 6. National manpower of 25%. Militarized society, military advances 12. Army maintenance down by 1/3, and navy maintenance down by 1/3. Ordered retreat, unit reorganization cost, minus 50%. Siege training, which requires martial advance of 6. 15% on assault ability. Support the people. Hold triumph costs, minus 50%. That requires martial advances of 12. And the civic ideas. Standardized construction, build cost down 30% and build time down 30%. City planning, which requires civic advances of 6, gives you additional building slots. Central urban spaces, which requires civic advances of 12, gives province loyalty of 0.03. Complex tariffs, commerce income of 33%. Patronize trading posts, civic advances of 6, and gives you capital import routes of +3. I like that one right there. Institute tariffs, which requires a civic 12. Province import routes +1. That one's amazing too. Tax farming, global slave output 20%. That's pretty great right there, especially if you've captured a lot of people. Land appropriation reforms, which requires civic advances of 6. Move freeman cost down 50% and move slave cost down 50%. Grain stockpiles, civic tech 12, population growth of 0.1, and I actually just noticed. So all the rest of these, it said military advances 6, military advances 12, civic advance of 6, civic advances 12. This one specifically says civic tech 12. I wonder if they're using these as synonyms or if that actually means it's unlocked differently. We'll have to figure that out later. But sanctioned privileges, monthly corruption down by 0.1. Strategic propaganda, wrong culture happiness penalty reduced by 15%. Legislative reforms, wrong culture group happiness penalty reduced by 15%. Military administration, military tradition cost minus 33%. That's a big one right there. Patronized scholars, invention cost minus 20%. Functional bureaucracy, enact law cost minus 33%. Permanent ambassadors, diplo relations +1. Casus belli, aggressive expansion impact minus 33%. I feel like that one's going to get picked a lot. Hospitium, improve opinion maximum by 33%. Religious ideas, state religion, call omen cost minus 25%. Religious calendar, omen duration plus 100%. So doubles the length that your omens last when you call them. Mandate observances, Omen power, 50%. Haruspice, sacrifice to the gods cost, minus 50%, 33%. 33%. I don't know why I just pulled 50% out of my head there. Tolerance of pagans, national unrest, -2. Institutional proselytism, convert pop cost, minus 33%. Origin myth, ruler popularity gain, 50%. Divine mandate, monthly tyranny, minus 20. And loyalty to the state, monthly loyalty increased by 0.05. And onto the map, Northwest Africa. As in previous diaries, we also take a closer look at one of the geographical regions covered by the game today. This time we'll be leaving the ongoing struggle of the Diadochi to instead inspect the starting situation of what would become Rome's most famous rival, the Republic of Carthage. 304 BCE, the Western Mediterranean has for centuries been subject to excursions by Greek and Phoenician traders and colonists. In time, many of these cities founded by the latter have grown to form a strong and powerful league led by the great city of Carthage. We have previously discussed the influence of Carthage in Dev Diary on Italy. On the African continent, this influence is even greater. It is the uncontested ruler of the seas, while relying on its many subject cities and the inland Numidian kingdoms to provide for its armies. The Sicilian invasion led by Agathocles, excuse me there, I had a frog in my throat while I was saying that, have, however, made two things apparent. First, some of the Carthaginian allies would happily support an invader. Second, the Carthaginian Empire is so thinly spread that it can hardly respond quickly and adequately to an invasion. Modern Tunisia, Africa to the Romans, was in some ways a very different place in 304 BC. This lush agricultural landscape is a great exporter of grain and agricultural goods, as well as base metals, spices, and the famous Tyrian purple dye that the Phoenicians have become so known for. The inland is in the hands of the Carthaginian governors, while the coastlines are controlled by the many cities that make up the Carthaginian sphere of influence. And our starting countries. Carthage. Carthage is not the oldest Phoenician settlement in the region, but over time it has become the richest and most influential. It is the undisputed leader of the Punic world, and all other Phoenician self-ruling cities are expected to obey and contribute to the common armies and navies. Much like the Roman Republic, many of its constituent cities still retain a significant amount of autonomy. As mentioned in a previous diary, in the wake of Agathocles' invasion, the Carthaginian general Bomilcar tried to proclaim himself tyrant over the city. With his execution, Carthage was formally done away with the monarchy and is now only ruled by the council. When needed, Carthage has had no problem mustering great armies. Mostly it has been doing so by relying on many armies of its subject states and by using the strong financial clout to enlist mercenaries from the entire Mediterranean world, a practice that is very different from its future rival in Rome. Utica, plutocratic republic just north of Carthage itself. One of the oldest and richest Punic cities, Utica is perhaps more prestigious than Carthage itself in some ways. Over the years, it has, however, been eclipsed by the rise of the great cities in the south, relegated to pay the part of a supporting ally. Utica starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Kirkwain, ancient plutocratic republic just east of Carthage, controls the closest mainland ports to Sicily and Corcyra. Kirkwain is perhaps the best known for having been totally destroyed by Rome during the Punic Wars. Kirkwan, I do not know if I'm pronouncing that right. Kirkwan starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Hadrumetum, rich trading city, one of the main ports of the Bysatis region, would become the capital city of the area after Roman conquest. Hadrumetum and the other cities of the Bysatis are all... Hadrumetum and other cities of Bysatis all joined Agathocles in the recent invasion of Africa. At our start, Hadrumetum is a feudatory of Carthage. Leptis, later known as Leptis Minor or Leptis Parva, Algolic Republic just south of Hadrumetum in the Bysatis region. Leptis starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Thapsus, another city of Bysatis. Built by a national source of salt, Thapsus is another Phoenician trading colony that has become part of the expansive Carthaginian state. Thapsus starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Akola, Phoenician Oligarchic Republic in south... Akola, Phoenician Oligarchic Republic in southern Bysatis. Unlike the other cities of Bysatis, Akola does not join Agathocles in the recent Sicilian War in Africa. Akola starts as a feudatory of Carthage. To Emporia and Tripolitania. South of the main cities of Carthage lies the region of Emporia and Tripolitania. Both are groups of cities that send their tribute to Carthage together. While the region isn't as lush and rich as the Carthaginian heartland, these states are still relevant as exporters of fish sauce, purple dye, and salt. Closer to the Sahara and its oases, they are also more subject to raids from the peoples within it. Starting countries are Tripolitania, named for the 3 cities of Sabratha, Oya, and Leptis Magna. Tripolitania is an oligarchic republic with considerable autonomy and surprising economic muscle for the location. Far from the Carthaginian homeland, it has to care for its own protection against Greeks and Numidians alike. Tripolitania starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Emporia, named for what it is, Emporia is a region of cities that provide the Carthaginian lands with goods from the desert people as well as the coastal manufacturing centers. Like Tripolitania, and unlike many of the other Punic cities, it has often found the need to defend itself against desert raiders using its own resources. Emporia starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Musalami, the first of the Numidian tribal kingdoms, as we mentioned today. Musalami is the smallest of the tribal states in the Carthaginian sphere. In exchange for protection and trade, the Musalami provide Carthage with soldiers and manpower for their wars. Musalami starts as a tribal vassal of Carthage. Combine the word vassal and Carthage there. Got vassage. Numidia. While the power of Carthage can be felt even here, as the city controls a fair number of trade ports in the region, Numidia is largely a region controlled by big tribal federation. The Massilians have often entered into arrangements with Carthage, selling their manpower and their cavalry for the rate, trade, and protection, but their main rival and diplomatic focus is the great Massilinian tribal constellation further west. At the northern end of the Sahara region, is also at times subject to raids from desert people. Should the conflicts between the Numidian kingdoms come to an end and the region be unified, it may pose a credible threat to other states in the area, especially Carthage, with its nearby capital and its control of almost all the ports in the Numidian region. Starting countries. Massilia, tribal kingdom in western Algeria and Tunisia. Massilians have long time provided Carthaginian with troops and military resources for their wars. In the recent invasion by Agathocles, they switched sides, however, and joined with the Greek invaders. Only when they realized how small the invading army actually was did the Massilians again switch sides back to the Carthaginian overlords, an incident that Carthage would do much to forget. Massilia starts as a tribal vassage. I did it again. Tribal vassal of Carthage. Vassage, I think, is just going to be something that I say a lot. Massalia? I'm going to go with that. Tribal kingdom in modern Algeria, historically a rival of other Numidian kingdom Massilia. But unlike them, the Massilians are not allied with Carthage, making its capital in a former Carthaginian trade post in Siga. The Massilians themselves often trade directly with the nearby Iberians and Mauritanians. Massilia starts independent and unaligned, so it's going to be really fun in multiplayer when someone starts as Massilia and Massilia. And lol, wait, really? Lol? Oh, god damn it. That's really the name? Oh no, I think it's IOL. I don't think it's LOL. Because like right here you could see this is an L. That's an I. Okay, small plutocratic republic in the ancient city of Lol, just west of the northern Carthaginian littoral. Maintaining close ties with the local people, Lol is the westernmost city of significance at our start date. Lol starts as a feudatory of Carthage. Oh god, I can't stop saying it now. Metagonia and Mauritania. The deep forests of the Rift is home to many North African elephants, a species now extinct, but which was famously used as a Carthaginian beast of war. Mauritania, and... oh, they switched the... damn them. It's Metagonia and Mauritania, and then it's Mauritania and Metagonia over here, are in many ways wild and untamed regions to the Greeks, Romans, and Carthaginians. While Carthaginian trade posts dot the coastline, even here the main powers are the kings of Mauritania and the Massilian Federation. There's only one starting country, though, Mauritania. Not much is known about this tribal kingdom until much later in our era when it interacts with the newly unified Numidian state. To start, Mauritania occupies the northern parts of what is today Morocco. Expansion without coming into conflict with Carthage will be hard as they control all ports in the region. Population allowing, there is, however, a region that is still not settled by any state, even if it's populated by Mauritanian tribesmen. Well, that's it for today, guys. Again, it was basically a map overview, and I did stop on all of the pictures if you want to take a look at them. Not much to talk about in terms of content. We're just going over the, again, we're just going over the map, showing you what's there. This, I think, was the main bit, the national ideas here, which, again, I didn't think were too crazy. I like that a lot of them are very, very like large bonuses, because I really feel like that allow the player to customize their nations by how they want to fight. But that's nothing new. That's something I've been saying for, months now. Anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.